Hi, and welcome to the BracedUp for Careers community channel. It is my pleasure to have you with me today. And today, you don't just have me, you have a special guest of mine. Her name is Neki, and I'll let her introduce herself later. I usually don't have guests on the show, so this is the first, and I'm feeling pretty excited and a little nervous about it. So I know I've been talking a lot about women and career and, the usual activities and situations that we would usually face in the office space. So I'm hoping that in having these conversations, we see the highs, the lows, the differences, how each person's circumstances shapes their own experiences, hear other people's experiences. So, you're not alone, you know what to expect, basically you have an idea of what you're going into, or just to know that other people are experiencing the same thing. Thank you very much, Neki, for being the first of this series. So I'll let you introduce yourself.
I'm excited to be here. My name is Neki. I am a radio broadcaster with several years experience anyways, and I am a career mom. In short, I'm a working mom.
In summary, we're going to be talking a lot about your career mom experience. But before we go into all of those deep dive, I would like to understand what it was like before you became a working mom, because I do know that there was life before baby. So tell me.
There was life. There was life before baby. There was life before marriage. There was life, before. So I think I was just a young single girl with, so much drive for work. I've always had corporate jobs. In fact, I think since 2017, I've been actively working, or 2016, I have been actively working majorly in the media space. So I was this kind of girl that, before marriage, wherever work calls, I'm ready. I just pick up my bags. I'm in the next city. If I'm done here, work is calling me another city, I pick up my bags. I'm done. Basically, adventure. I'm moving and working for me before marriage, before baby.
So there was that flexibility.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So how did marriage and then the baby's arrival affect that flexibility?
I think for one, I was not prepared. Maybe I didn't have this conversation with anybody. I felt maybe once you get married, automatically you just move to the city where your husband stays. I just felt it was just, just snap your finger. I mean, you are in that city too. I didn't know that I'm supposed to prepare, so to speak. So when I got proposed to, I was in a different city. My husband was in a different city, or my fiance then was in a different city. So in my head, I'm like, I'm still a young girl. It's just proposed, I right? I'm just wearing a ring. A few months down the line, we're planning wedding. I'm like, wait, okay. When I get married, I'll just apply to my company, move me to head office and stuff like that in Lagos. And then application started, oh my dear. Wedding was coming close, and no headway yet. I'm like, we'll still work it out. Don't worry, tomorrow now.
We still have time.
I felt that way. Introduction came, after introduction, wedding, and it dawned on me that I was in a different city. My husband was in a different city, and I'm married. I'm working. At that point, it's either I leave my current job, I get back, and then I look for another job, or I wait for a while, get another job. But I'm this kind of person. I like to move from job to job. I don't like that breaks in between. Yeah. I like to always be actively working. So I didn't want to quit because it's something that we have applied now, just chill for a bit. So I did that. And before, a year into our marriage, I was pregnant, had my baby. I was still working when I was pregnant. It wasn't funny at all.
We're going to get into that.
Okay. Nobody told me that, I had to prepare for this other phase. So it came as a shocker to me.
The society makes it look like once you get married, everything just falls into place, naturally. It will all arrange itself. Even people will tell you, don't worry, once you get married, it will fall into place. Okay, so I like that you mentioned the importance of preparing one's mind. Yes, there's the love. You're excited to get married. You're excited to start this new phase of your life. But recognizing that it is a new phase, and this new phase would have its own requirements, and planning for those requirements, especially because you already have a life before the marriage, right? We encourage ladies to have their own self, their own identity before they get married. So if you have an identity before you get married, and you imagine that with another person's identity, man, you have to plan for it.
Too much.
Okay, so you mentioned that you got pregnant within your first year of marriage. Was that something that was intentional, like you wanted to get baby immediately, or was it something that just happened? Was there that conversation?
Yes, we had a conversation, but it was supposed to be almost at the time we planned it. Anyways, it was intentional. It was intentional. We wanted to have a baby, but then I still wanted things to really fall in place. You understand? So at that particular point, all I'd hoped for, okay, this was supposed to have worked out by now. It hadn't worked out. You understand? Um, do I leave my job? Do I just move back home? Do I sit? How will I get frustrated? Sitting and not working. For me, I feel like working occupies your mind. You understand? There's this feeling of, you're accomplishing something. And the truth is, at that particular point, it was a very crucial time in my career. You leave, and then you have your baby, you nurse, and then you come to start off from there or even go down. You know how it is, when your career is progressing and then you drop. It's many a times a lot of women don't get back from it. And sometimes you are fortunate enough, yes, you get back from it. So for me at that point, it was very critical. Should I stay? Should I leave? But it was just, when I was confused, my husband just told me, say, you know what, see, it was part of why I married you. So if you don't want, don't quit, just keep working. So I think that was just the push I needed. And I think maybe, my close family members also knew the reason why I love working. So they didn't just want me to quit at that particular point in time. Oh, quit as a woman, why would you quit? My mom is big on that. No, you as a woman, you should be doing something. You understand? Don't just quit and go home. There's a way where, you're moving. And then all of a sudden you stop. It feels like, I don't know how to explain it, but for me,
what was your biggest fear? Like you found out, okay, I'm pregnant, right? And now I have this promotion I'm expecting, or these things I'm expecting from the office, maybe this movement, or I just recently moved to this new role and, I want to ace it. But now I'm pregnant, and all of these other things that I was hoping, it was planned, but all of these other things that I was hoping would be in place are not yet in place. What came to your mind? Like, what was the fear like?
At that point, of course, it was the fear of quitting. That was my greatest fear. I'm still young. I have a lot to accomplish in my career. You understand? Like I said, it was just a very crucial moment for me for work. I was, in charge of on-air content and programming, not just, going on air presenting. So I had other things I needed to manage. So at that point, how do I juggle it? And it was so shocking that at that point I got another promotion to head a new branch. All of my fears, like, God, how do I mix this? Head a new station, be in charge of programs and on-air content, and still run the morning show, like the flagship show of the station. Wake up as early as 6 a.m. I'm on air at 6 a.m. Not even wake up, I'm on air at 6 a.m. in the morning, every morning, Monday to Friday. And I'm pregnant. I think my daughter just heard and just didn't disturb me every morning I'm on air. She just said, don't worry, I won't be part of your problem. I won't be part of your problem. Think of other things. And here, I was moved to a new city, to another city, so to speak, and then I have to manage a new set of and recruits. It wasn't funny at all, with my bulging stomach, trying to fix things in place, it was just a lot. It was just a lot, honestly.
Now you got a promotion, you're trying to ace it on this new role, and you're doing it with a bulging stomach. What was the support system like?
I think, from my immediate colleagues, it was fantastic, to be honest. So I remember one of my colleagues always going to buy me ice cream because I was always craving ice cream. I'm like, I want ice cream and meat pie. And then the next thing I see one big bowl of ice cream. I'm like,
oh my goodness,
this works. So for me, I had that support. It was good because up until like 5 months, I started feeling it that, oh yes, now I'm no longer one, I'm now two, you understand? And then the responsibility was a new station. There was this pressure of your station has to be, top 5 in the new city. Your station has to do do this, we had to compare rates, a lot of work had to be done, setting up the place, getting everybody, ensure that programming goes smooth. You understand, managing the station. It wasn't funny at all. But then I think my colleagues were at the point, I think one of my team members, I had to give her the award for the fastest growing presenter. In fact, her growth was just superb. Trust me.
Wow.
Somebody I thought, oh, you are new. How would you ace this role? At the point I got calls from people outside like, your evening belt is on point. For me, that was a huge relief. You understand? So imagine having to go for antenatal and entering the hospital, the security man is tuning into your radio station. I'm like, I'm running this, then, they're still
Okay.
For me, that was just a plus. So every time I go to the hospital, I'm always, seeing the security guy, tune into my station. I had to ask him, I said, you listen to this station every time. They say, who do you know there? And then the first thing he mentioned, the morning show. Neki, Lolo, I like her very well. I'm like, wow, me. So I'm like, this guy don't even know that this is me. So he's like, when I wanted to go, I was like, madam, why you ask? I said, no, I'm just asking. He said, no, I want to know why. I said, don't worry, just tune in tomorrow. You hear your name on radio. Like, wait. That feeling of excitement and all that. I'm like, thank God, there's this huge relief that something or I'm doing something right. You understand? I'm pregnant, I'm in a new role, in a city, that were pretty new. So for me, it was a win-win at the end of the day, trust me. There were times truly I felt like, don't just wake up this morning, just sleep. Because at that point the pregnancy was getting really heavy, the pressure, was getting worse and worse.
Did you feel a need to sort of like overcompensate, like, to prove to yourself and to everyone around you that, my pregnancy is not going to stop me?
Yes, there was this, and I'll also say this, I am the first female manager in the whole of my company's branch. Do you understand?
Okay.
So being the only female, on the management, level is something.
Yep.
And then not just the only female, I'm the only manager that also runs the morning show. Every other manager just does management alone. So I'm literally working not even double role now, tripartite role. I'm
You're wearing
running the
3
morning
hats.
show. You understand? I'm running the morning show. I'm in charge of on-air content and programming. Then I'm also managing the station. So that's like running 3 roles in one, which no other manager is doing. To top it all, I'm pregnant. I'm heavy. I remember sometime management, some management team came from head office and they came to my branch. Like, oh, why is this place like this? Why is that place? And then I looked at all my staff. Cleaner was not around that day. Why is this not kept well? Why is that? With my heavy stomach, I bent down. I said, oh yeah, guys, everybody move. Let's do this and let's do that. Let's get everywhere up. And they were like, this girl with this kind of head, their career, still doing all of it. So for me, I think I had a lot to prove. First to management that having a female for my role was not a bad idea. In fact, it was a win-win. You understand? So I think after then, they started looking forward to having more female managers, honestly.
Yeah, so pace setter.
You understand? So for everything, like Nek is in Ibadan, Nek is doing this, Nek is doing that. You understand? So for me, it's a win-win.
You found the good parts and you had your husband's support because now you were in Ibadan and he wasn't at Ibadan. So how did you manage that dynamic?
He was always coming mostly for weekends. You understand?
Aww.
And for me too, the truth is, it gets to a time where I need the back rubs. So I just have to, go home. I have to take off for a few days, go home, rest well, get to hospital, take 1 or 2, doctor's recommendation, and then I'm back. I'm good for work. But I think it was mostly after I had my baby. But before I had my baby, I was, always at work. He was coming more, you understand, down. But me, I was always working.
Okay, so now let's move to you had the baby. Baby is here. Welcome to baby. Hey. So how long did you take for your maternity leave? What was that maternity leave period like? What were the things going on in your mind,
And first, yes, they will not still tell you again that while you are on leave, you work. So in my head, I'm like, oh, maternity leave means 3 months off work.
Of rest.
You know, I was in the hospital the day I was on labor, and the admin in head office was calling me. I was on the phone literally trying to sort one or two things.
Oh my
And the
goodness.
next, I think by evening that day, she saw my post that giving birth. She's like, ha, Nika, why didn't you tell me when I called you? You have to do. Why are you doing like this? No, 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 don't do that to me. Why did you? She felt really guilty. I'm like, no, now it was just labor. But I was still, but you didn't act like it. This, that. I'm like, that moment, man, I was still smashing it. But I just managed to go through. And now that the baby's here, I'm home for maternity leave, and then the next thing I get a call. Oh, this is not, what should we do? Why is this one like this? Oh, I'm supposed to be working. And then the next thing, I'm on the phone, I'm extracting, I'm on the phone. Okay, why don't you people do this like this? Get this to go and do that, get that to go and do. So I'm coordinating even while on leave. Nobody told me that I was going to do all of that. Well, it was all good. I think I coordinated for 3 months. I was home. I was always on the phone and what was happening in the office, coordinating and stuff like that. So I was literally working while
Is
on
that
leave.
something you think can be better?
Um, I think, well, management side, yes, I'm supposed to, know what's happening in the office even while on leave, but I think I should have had, a strong stand in. You understand, in between, because of course I needed that time because it was a terrain that I had not ventured into before. So of course I needed that time managing a new kid, home, myself, and then work too. You understand? So I think it was just having a proper standing would have helped. You understand?
I feel that there is sort of like a superwoman narrative around birthing mothers that expects them to do all of these things supernaturally, right? Do you feel that way too? And do you think it's something that as a society we need to think
We
about?
need
Like,
to
are we putting too much
we need to
pressure?
work on it. We honestly need to work on it as a society. The truth is, people feel like as women, like maybe supernaturally, you just have that extra powers. It is not true. I remember the first week I had my baby, I cried several times a night. I would just wake up and I would start crying. My husband would be like, "What is this?" I, I feel like a lot of people are praying to God for this. Now you have it. I'm like, nah, I want to sleep. That was the only thing I kept saying. I want to sleep. If he says, boy, I said, I just want to sleep. Like sleep without anybody coming to say, I want to suck at night. I just want to sleep well. I think the society is not helping. A lot of people are actually not open enough about that first, the period where you just have a baby. It's a very, very stressful period mentally, physically, otherwise. You need a huge support system. If you have it, see, the truth is you will do better. First is, if you can get somebody to cook for you, by all means, please do. At that point, don't come and form you're a superwoman and then you can do this, you can. No, if you have somebody, if people visit you, oh, can I do this? Yes, by all means, do it. You understand? If you can have somebody, even at work, that's standing for you, by all means, take them because it is not easy. It is going to tell on you. In fact, I was so scared coming back to work. I was asking myself, do I quit at this point in time? You have done it. You have accomplished something. You did it. Why don't you just relax? With your CV, even after you take some time off work, it will be easy to get back, to work again. At that point, I was fighting myself. Should I go back to work after 3 months? Will I fit in? It's media, of course. Everybody expects you to have to snap back immediately. Have
Bounce
the
back.
flat tummy. Come back, start hosting events. Come back, start doing this. There was that pressure. I remember getting back to work, and a friend of mine was telling me, "Oh, Nike, see, you need to get back to events." So I'm like, do you know what? It feels like I have leaking breast, like literally. If my baby don't suck within 2 hours, I'm done for. Like I feel pain. I have to, extract. There's this feeling. People don't tell you that. You understand? People just feel like, oh, you had your baby and then you just, started doing like one old woman. I remember the first time I had an event, my sister, these people paid and they paid well. And it got to the day of the event. First and foremost, it was a beer brand. My baby was not allowed in. Even the person helping me, like, oh no, we don't want young people here. It's a beer brand. This, that. This is my baby. Like, okay, why don't you guys, they got me a comfortable place away from camera. Okay, that's fine. But that day, my baby decided that, no way, mommy, I want you to be. I started screaming, and it was terrible. At a point, I think I just walked with the camera guy. So at the point, I'll tell him, please, take the camera off my face. I need to go and breastfeed my baby. So I will run backstage, breastfeed her, and then by the time I'm leaving her, she's crying, she's screaming. God, my heart is broken. I'm like, God, how do I do this?
And you feel guilty.
Do you understand? And people are telling you, get back to work, get back to work. What kind of pressure is this? So after that, I just told myself, for now, nah, I will be selective with the kind of jobs I accept. You understand? Yes, I know I have to get back to work. Yes, I know I want to do this, I want to do that. It's a boost on my career. You understand? Being able to put it on your CV, you've done this, you've done that, good. But at the same time, mentally, are you fit for it? I had to ask myself, even my body was, the truth is, once your body will tell you, you don't need to fight it and say, no, I can stay away from my baby for like 5 hours. In fact, you will leak, like it will be visible. So all of those things were there. I had to, ask myself, what is more important? Career is very important. But then now I needed to draw table of priority. You understand? At this point, my baby is still very little. These are the kind of events only that I can accept. These are the kind of events that I would say no to. I think that helped me afterwards because I didn't want anybody to tell me, oh, why you not this? Why you not that? There are a lot of events happening. It's December, so you should be hosting this. Oh, nah, I'm not cut out for that for now. Nah. So I was able to turn down certain, requests for events, and that helped me get myself back on
You
it.
were honest with yourself, like being able to set that personal expectation of, this is what I can do and this is what I cannot do at this time. Because there's so much pressure from the society. And I find that many times new moms going back into the career world, there's that pressure to, do everything like you used to do before you went on your maternity leave. You want to show them that nothing has changed. But the truth is, everything has changed. Like having that honest conversations with ourselves to know that, yes, something has changed. Yes, I'm going to adapt to the change. I'm not saying that because something has changed, I'm giving up. No, but I need to adapt. I need to work with what has changed. And I like
people
the fact
also need to understand with you. I think the earlier you set those boundaries, people come to terms with it. But when you don't set, that's when they keep pushing you and say, like, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. But when you tell them, this is my current situation and these are the only things I can accept, it works fine.
You also mentioned the mother's guilt. Like you're trying to take care of your baby, you're trying to excel at your career. And then sometimes there are days when you feel like, man, I'm a bad mom because my baby is crying. I should be with my baby.
Oh God.
I like that you mentioned that because I find that many moms feel that way, and there's that guilt of feeling that you're the worst mom on earth. Whereas, honestly and truly, you're doing the best that you can at that point in your life, right? And also the fact that you mentioned, yes, you love your baby, you're happy to have your baby, but there are still some days when you feel like, oh my, I feel like my world has completely changed beyond my understanding. And, I don't understand what's going on. I remember the days before and, I just feel somehow, right? I like that you mentioned that because for me, it means that when new moms are listening and watching this video, they can see that they are not alone. And that feeling that way does not mean you hate your baby. It doesn't mean that you're a bad mother. It's just that you are human. And as a human, when change happens, sometimes it's okay to draw back and feel the difference, right? Thank you. I really like that you shared that. You talked a lot about support system, right? Tell me about your support system and what you would advise women who are in career, who are thinking about how to manage or create their own support system, establish that support system, what can they do? So 2 questions in one.
First is, it depends on your partner. I would advise that you get a partner who loves what you do. I know how my husband feels whenever he tunes the radio and then I'm on air. You understand? So for that, he always tells me, I like what you're doing. I don't want you to stop.
Yeah.
So for me, that's like a huge support. You understand? So even when they're challenged, I think for me, that's like very good. You should have a partner who supports what you are doing. Now, around you two, I tried as much as I can within, my own powers as the manager, not to create a toxic environment. So because I did not create a toxic environment in my workplace, my staff are able to work in sync. You understand? And even when I need support, even when I need somebody to drive me around, even when I need stuff like that, they're always standing by. So for if you are in an environment where you're working home, I think you should just make it as comfortable as possible, because tomorrow they are going to be the first point of call if anything goes wrong. If you need a standing urgently, they're going to be there. If you need advice to progress, if you need this, to help, certain decisions that you want to make, they're going to be there. Now, then be the first person. You get.
So first of all, choose wisely, marry well.
Marry well. Marry
Marry
somebody who
well.
likes your job, somebody that will not just tell you with the first challenge, quit. After all, what is
I can
this?
take care of you.
Do you understand? And then aside that, so why they treating you like this? You are this, you are that. He understands that for every role that you get into, there are challenges. Your ability to pass them gives your employers, very good reasons why you were picked for that particular role. You understand? I remember having a challenge, and then one of my bosses told me, he said, "See, Neki, we know you will do well. That's why we chose you for this role. So regardless of the challenge, we know you'll face it. I'm here today. I faced a lot of challenges. So imagine you're facing this now. So brace up." He now told me, he said, "Guess what? You will see more." And guess what? I've seen more. So I think for that, get a good support system, speak to people when you can, and have people who are also going through what you're going through. I think I had to scout one of my friends who is also a radio manager and also a new mom. So many a times when I say certain things like, "Oh, my babe, I can relate. This is how I handle this is that," you understand? And sometimes away from the whole brouhaha, you just need to relax. You just need to relax. You understand? So it's more like, you are feeling your energy back again. Sometimes you just need to relax. Take a chill pill. In fact, by the time you wake up, you see that that problem was not even a problem.
For someone who is thinking about getting married, having a child, and still being able to merge career with all of this, right? What would be your point of view?
Truth is, for every step there are joys. You understand? There's fulfillment. But the truth is, for every individual, we have various strengths. The fact that I'm able to juggle everything doesn't mean that I will come and sit today and tell you, so why shouldn't you? Nah, I'm not that. If it gets to a point where you feel, I can't, you are heavy. I don't know situations that surrounds your own pregnancy. Maybe you need more rest. Maybe at that point you were feeling, I just need to stay home. By all means, please. Now, if you pushed yourself up until having your baby, and at that point you don't see yourself functioning better in an office environment, please, by all means. Now, the truth is, for every step that we take and we feel like, let me ace it, let's not forget our mental health. It can mess you up to the point that getting back to work, you become even worse. You will not even do well. That's the truth. So don't push yourself when you cannot anymore. Know when to say, I'm drawing the curtain here. Know when to take it out and make sure it is honorable. Repeat the office is beginning to drop. This is complaining about you. That person is complaining, and then you now get a letter to say, I'm sorry, we have to let you go for now. Don't let it
Make
get
the
to that
choice
point.
yourself.
You get. So you just have to understand where your body can take you to. For every stage that you are in, there are different challenges. My baby also needs to start schooling. So for every step you take, there's also that honest review of your situation. Can my situation now honestly allow for this and that? Honestly review it yourself and tell yourself, okay, no, face the reality and push for it. If you are going to stay at home, please ace it. Stay at home and be great at being, a mom. Take care of your kids. Do this, do that. See, people come back from there even stronger. Your experiences will even shape your next job. Even you might get higher pay safe. Do you understand? So every stage that you get to honestly review your situation, and if you can't, by all means, relax.
Each person's pregnancy and each person's circumstances are unique to them.
Yes, true.
I've had a few persons say like, oh yeah, are you the first person to get pregnant? You know, other pregnant women are doing like this. Well, that is them. This is you. So do you like choose, understand yourself and what is working for you. Not in comparison to some other pregnant woman, because pregnancy is not like malaria that has the same symptom for everybody, right? Even malaria doesn't have the same symptom for everybody.
And for my kind of job, that you have to be a vibe. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So for everybody, it is different. For mine, I wasn't so big with morning sickness, so maybe that helped me, especially because I was hosting the morning show. But after 10 o'clock, I know that I was always, on my bed. But before then, I was active as possible. You understand? So for everybody, analyze your situation. By all means, if you want to quit at that point, see, you have done well.
You mentioned that preparation was something that if you had to do it again, you would have sort of prepared your mind better. So we're assuming that someone who is watching this video is trying to prepare. What's the way to prepare?
To make things a lot easier, I think when you're with your partner, it's a boost. You understand? If you were to prepare, if there is any way for you to get maybe a transfer to the city where your partner is, start early, start on time. I know that nobody plans, a lot of times it's just a relationship until there's a proposal. You understand? It's just a relationship. Planning ahead, especially when, if you need more time, then be honest with your partner. If you guys can take, another few months to plan.
So what you're saying is just because they propose does not mean you should marry that time. If it's not working for you at that time,
yes,
it doesn't mean that you don't love them anymore. It's just that marriage is not on the table for you right now.
You can have a honest discussion. Babe, this is our situation. If we take it, this is what is likely to be the outcome. We're not saying you know everything. You might get a good offer tomorrow and then you move. You understand, you're in the city, closer to with your husband and things like that. Yes. But then be honest, this is what is likely to be the possibility, and this is what is likely to be the possibility. So if we have a high percentage of this happening, why don't we try this option? If it may get a little more time, let's be honest with ourselves. Let me get a little more time. Let this work out. And of course, we're good with the marriage. You understand? Be honest with your partner. Open up and have the conversation. That's my advice.
Thank you. First of all, you want to prepare. In fact, before you even start preparing, choose wisely. Yes. The person you want to marry plays a key role in almost everything after that marriage point. So choose wisely so that you have a good support system. Prepare. Like, it's not just a case of, okay, somebody has proposed to you, so you have to get married.
When other things happen in your life aside that marriage at that point.
Yes.
And they all need to fit together. They all need to work in sync. You understand?
When a man proposes to you, he doesn't just wake up and give you a ring. He has thought of his own life. He has planned his own self. And in his own planning, at that point in his life, he's ready for marriage, right? Yes. So if he brings the ring to you, you too plan your own life. Think about it like, is this the right time for me? Anyways, I really enjoyed this conversation, and I hope that people who are watching today also enjoy it and they are able to take the points that are resonating with them as individuals. You want to prepare, you want to choose wisely, you want to make sure that you have a support system and connect with your support system. Be a good person to your colleagues because you are going to need your colleagues.
You're going to need them for ice cream, if not for anything.
And that it's okay. It's okay to have sad days. It's okay to have some days when you're like, come, why did I even give birth to this baby? It doesn't mean that you don't like your baby.
And people are not honest with themselves. Sometimes you have your baby. Yes, every other person wants a child, and maybe they've not been able to get it, and then you have a child. It doesn't mean that it's going to be automatic. I'm so crazy about my child. I love my child. Nah, you build it. It's just a new mommy you are meeting, man. You go build the love.
True. Thank you so much, Nikki. If you have any last comments, please feel free. Oh, we're going to end the show for
Ah,
today.
all right. I just want to tell every working mom, yes, you can do it. And when you cannot, it is also verified. Career is good, family is good. You know, you can merge all of that together. And if you cannot, you are still very, very good. Do what works for you. Do you at the end of the day.
Do what works for you and make sure that you
Yes.
subscribe to this YouTube channel. That would work for you. All right.
Yes.
Take care.